Hi, Royal Ones. Jasmine here, welcoming you to Soul Filling with Inspire Fire, where you can get show live and the conversation is lit. We talk wellness, relationships, happiness, and even share our personal stories. Like, comment, and share if we say anything that resonates with you.
And we back, and we back, and
Hey.
we back, and we back.
Hey. And we back.
And we back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
We just channeled Chance the Rapper. Yes.
Just channeled Chance the Rapper. But this is Soul Feeling. So, I know they've been getting their soul fed lately, so we about to hit them with some more soul food.
The healthy kind of soul food, this the kind that enrich your life.
Yes, and we are talking about the grind today. Because honestly, we've been on it. So we need to share some of our nuggets with you guys. But we're still on it. I don't even know if it ends. Does it end, guys?
The grind don't stop. The grind is continuous. It's never ending. And those who tell you that they reached their destination to the grind,
they about to die.
Oh.
Oh my
God. Well, I ain't gonna say all that. Hey, if you want to just get the raw truth, no, you're not about to die.
No, you the one who always be saying, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yes, I didn't say if you're not grinding, you dying. I said if you're not growing, you're dying.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess it's kind of interesting.
I was like, oh, well, shit, let me make sure I'm on my grind then, because I don't want to die. I'm going to be learning everything.
Well, those of you that take things literal like Tiffany does, we know that you are going to be on your grind and your growth game is going to be strong.
Yes.
And that's what's really important in this lifetime, in this life that you have, is to be on your grind.
Y'all, I got a little nugget for y'all that I shouldn't have been doing this, but I was on Instagram while I was in traffic. Don't do this, guys. Do not be on your phone while you're driving. But I was watching a video on Instagram of this painting. Like, this person started painting a beautiful picture, and at the end, it was a beautiful picture, right? And it got me thinking, why am I watching this? Like, I was more intrigued watching the creation being drawn instead of the finished product. And so, we all be watching these transformation videos and whatnot, these painting videos, because we want to see the process, right? But in life, we be trying to just get to that perfect painting instead of just enjoying that. It's that beautiful process. And I think that's what the grind is. But we forget to, enjoy this, extraordinarily beautiful process.
I love that. And that just struck up a chord in my mind. Like, Indie, she has a song. She be dropping all the gems in the world on all her song and all her music. But like you were saying, it's in her song, she stated, life is a journey, not a destination.
It's not.
So we have this goal in our mind and we want to achieve that goal, but it's the process, the path, the journey leading up into that goal that's the beauty. That's when you have all the experiences.
Right. I know. I'm excited. That's why I'm so excited about life. Even though we're on the stream right now. But that's besides the point, even though that is the point, because we are going to be going through some key factors that we have all been running into while we're on this beautiful journey. So what we getting started with, Kobe? She got the notes.
So we're running through 10, what are these? 10 keys.
We got the keys.
Major keys.
Major keys.
Major key alert. Major key alert to the grind. Grind time starts now. Put the key in the ignition and turn it.
Yes.
Number 1 is shameless.
Ooh. Okay. That's just because I'm obsessed with Shameless Maya.
We are.
Yes. Shout out to Shameless Maya and Shan Booty.
Yes. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take a stab at it. Anyways, so I am gonna bring up Shameless Maya because what she did on her channel is she shamelessly promoted herself for an entire year and saw where that got her. She didn't care what she probably did care what other people thought, but she still pushed herself to put herself out there every single day in every way that she could, so she could create her art and be getting paid for it and be known for it, because nobody's out here trying to be a struggling artist. No more. We're trying to be rich artists, okay?
Exactamente.
But that takes a lot out of yourself to not be constantly putting yourself in the forefront. I know, like, when I do my YouTube videos, I usually put it up one time on every social media site, when I probably should be putting it up more than that. But I don't want people to be like, I don't want to see this damn turban tutorial. Like, I mean, right.
This is your craft, your task. This is what you're grinding for. And if they can't deal with that,
go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Right. That's what you can do.
Exactly. If you don't want to see it, just subscribe.
But you're going to attract those that want to see it the more you put it out there, the like minds.
Exactly. And the funny thing is about when you do start to promote yourself is the people that you're worried about, like your friends and your family, or even your acquaintances, your Facebook friends, most of the time, they aren't going to be the ones that are going to be your main supporters. It's going to be those strangers.
Exactly.
Which is kind of a cool thing, because they be like, dang, they really going hard for you. I mean, even though y'all go hard for me, but, some people be, like, really commenting on every YouTube video, and I'm like, I see you, hair cartel. But that's the beauty of things, because, I mean, we're already, like, encouraging each other in person, but it's cool to be able to do that with somebody else online,
because you know that they have a genuine connection, because it's like we're on this planet and it's so many of us, and the fact that they found you and your whatever you have to offer to the world, and that shows that, like, I really need this. I was searching for this, and you were the answer to my search, my prayer, my thing that I was looking for. And it's like, wow, out of the dime of a dozen things, I came across you. So I genuinely love and support you just as much as you support Shameless Maya. That's how someone's looking at you, because, and you don't know her, like, quote unquote, but it's like, I can genuinely see your craft and I can agree with just about everything, because our minds are, like, so similar.
Right, we attracted to one another.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. So the thing is, you can't be worried about, or you just have to go be shameless.
And you're right. You're so right.
Not worry about what other people are thinking about you, because somebody out there really needs whatever
you have to offer.
You're so right, because I don't know where I would be if Shameless Maya never had a channel, because literally everything I say is like, or about, like, oh, this is how you make your room soundproof, or, oh, Shameless Maya could record off of a camera, iPhone,
Exactly.
So, like, you're actually, if you're not shamelessly promoting your beautifulness, your craft, you're actually, like, prohibiting somebody from being great on their own.
Exactly, because we all need role models. It gives us this thing to look at outside of ourselves for inspiration, to show us that we can truly do it and put our own spin on it, of course. But it, like, you use a lot of different YouTubers. I used, when I was younger, I don't find myself doing this so much as I used to, but I used to use artists. Like, that's why I'm always referencing because I listen through audio. I always reference, like, Beyonce, like, lyrics to a song. I'm a lyricist. And so when I find a lyric to a song that really be hitting my soul, guys, it just inspires me. And I'm like, okay, this can be done this way. This can be done. And it, like, validates everything that I've been thinking in my head. And it's just like, oh, you just put my thoughts into real words. And so I just find it amazing when you find that connection with people who are out there being just shamelessly themselves and giving you their raw talent, their raw truth, their authentic truth and their craft. You can be inspired by that. So by being shamelessly you and just taking off the veil and just not caring what society says, those people that your so-called best friends, and they could really truly be your best friends, but they just may not understand your grind because it's your grind.
Right, or it might not be something that they need, but it's somebody else it's something that somebody else may need.
Exactly.
Yes,
that was awesome.
She's trying not to clap too loud.
Oh, girl, I had to clap on that. Like, y'all can't see me over here, but Tiffany,
give
her a round of applause.
So I guess that is a rule number 1 of the grind, and that is to be shameless. Y'all, I'm gonna be pushing y'all to be shameless, and I'm gonna push myself to be shameless,
and I'm gonna push you to be shameless.
Please,
and y'all better push me to be shameless.
Be shameless.
Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, diving in to our next point, which is worry, inclination, fear, all that. So,
not about that life.
Who want to elaborate on that?
I'm gonna let y'all take a stab at it.
Well, there's so many things we could talk about with this one, but the first thing I want to point out is we have to stop worrying about what we have to lose and start focusing on what we have to gain.
You right.
If y'all can't see, I'm looking at Kobe like she just stole my soul.
Side eye with love.
Like, I just side-eyed her so hard. Like,
that's so true.
That's a huge
That's just the gist of it, basically.
It really is. I mean,
moving
on. Like, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Like, I think that they need to hear that one more time. Yeah. Can you repeat that, Tap your neighbor.
Tap your neighbor and say.
Tag a friend.
Yes.
Tag a friend, for real.
Share this video. Send this to your daughter that's away in college.
Right. Indeed.
Send this to your best friend. I'm joking. But seriously.
Yes. Stop worrying about what you have to lose and start focusing on what you have to gain.
That's seriously that's like what it is. I mean,
it could be with friends. Sometimes, when you are heading down a certain path or headed down a certain road, you're not going to be surrounded by the same people anymore. You may have, you may not talk to the same people that you usually hang around with as much, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
Because what you have to gain is
I almost chopped my hand off because Kobe was making me preach. She was preaching. I was lifting my hands to the sky. And if y'all know me, I'm 6 feet tall, so my arms kind of long. So I just hit the fan.
She got the Holy Ghost.
Right.
And then dumped it into the... Oh, God.
Okay. Kobe over here dropping gems. Sorry, guys. But
Jackson over here clapping, side-eyeing, and just breaking fans. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Dang. That was funny. Wait,
so
where were you at?
You may have to drop some friends off.
You have to drop some friends.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that's another thing. So you said friends. Now I'm thinking about jobs, right?
Right.
So when it's finally that time to leave your job. I mean, speaking from like our standpoint of going into entrepreneurship, and we all have full-time jobs right now. Eventually, we will have to leave our jobs, and it's going to be that scary factor. It's going to be very scary to leave something that is in our mind secure. To go out and just depend on ourselves and have faith in ourselves. So don't be scared about exactly what you said about what you have to lose, this so-called security, and just believe on everything you have to gain, all this freedom and all the money out there that you can make, and all the inspiration that you're giving out, and all the people that you're helping. So you really hit when I said, okay, we can move on, I was like, that's basically it. And it goes for like every scenario that I could even think of.
Right.
From relationships with guys to everything, to eating right.
That's so true. And I like to elaborate on that. And you are both completely right. And I like to look at it from like the energy, spiritual aspect. So when we are worrying, it's like a form of energy, a vibration that we're sending off into the world. And if we're worrying, just think of your worries as a form of prayer. So when you're constantly meditating on this thing in your mind, whether it's something negative, like you worried about him cheating on you, you worried about you not getting the job, you worried about you not getting this, you're like calling that very thing that you're worrying into your life, into your own atmosphere, into your existence. So we have to be careful when we're pondering our thoughts on and like stray away from all the worrying, because it is hindering us without us even knowing it.
Right, you are sending out that vibration, that energy, because we attract what we think about
most of the time.
What we say, but we can switch it up. So
definitely, it can be switched. We've said this in the past, or I've said this in the past. It can be switched just like you change a station on the radio. You can change your thoughts from that worrying thought to a more positive thought. You can change just like you turn the light switch off and on. You could turn that thought off and on. So it's all about practice.
Indeed. So did we cover that, or did we cover that, or did we cover that?
The second point is
you
also
done.
Not done, because you got that inclination for fear. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people are more worried about failure than they are.
You're so right. Success. Would you say that the fear is the fear of the lifestyle change that you're going to have to make in order to achieve the success?
That's exactly what it is.
That's what I say it is too.
It's like you're comfortable. Right now I'm comfortable in my mom's house, and I know if I ever quit my job, a full-time job, that I will need to be on my own for real. That's that fear of losing your comfort. But if anybody wants to be great, you have to eventually step out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Facts.
People are afraid to like hurt people's feelings and not be able to hang out with the same environment of people. So it's like you have to be willing to detach, like from, like you were saying, living with your parents, detached from living with the same crowd that's doing the same repetitive cycle that's not elevating you to the point you in the place you want to be in life.
So it's hard. But
it's very doable.
Gotta get out of that comfort zone.
Yeah, and I like what you said. Sometimes it's the fear of that change. Some people don't want to. They're used their comfort zone. They're used to certain things,
right?
Which leads us to the next one, number 3, resistance.
Yes,
because sometimes people are afraid. Like it's like, what are you resisting? You're scared of something. So what are you not allowing to happen? What are you kind of blocking yourself from?
Yes, exactly.
That's preventing you from your success or getting to where you want to be.
Right, and a lot of times we know what that is. Right, but we just don't want to confront it or let it go. Or
some people know they got to quit that job, but they just not ready to do it. Some people know they have to maybe move locations. They have to move to another city. They just don't want to leave that support system or their family, their friends. So
that's all so true.
What is it?
What is that thing that you need to confront so you can move on? Because in all honesty, you're just blocking your blessing, which is like the scariest thing ever. So, but how do you confront it? Would really be the question.
I think the way you confront it is, one, you have to acknowledge that it's there, become aware of it, whatever it is, and everything is going to be different for everybody. And then you also have to know that resistance is just a natural flow of life. You are definitely, no matter whether you stay in the predicament that you're in right now or whether you go off to a new predicament, there's always going to be resistance. It's this affirmation that one of my distant friends like to use. His name is Hazik. It's a good affirmation. It's very powerful, and he says resistance makes me stronger. I think it's only resistance only make me, or just makes me strong. Okay, so we're gonna do that one more time so y'all can hear it clear.
I love it. Yes.
Is it only or just? So let's get that.
I think it's only.
Resistance. Yes, only.
Oh, just.
Okay. Makes me strong. I think it is just.
I think it's just okay. So resistance just makes me stronger.
I love that.
Yes, that affirmation is so powerful, you guys, and you can use this in your everyday life when your coworker or your supervisor, your boss walk into the office with this stank ass attitude, and they just want. I had to get ratchet for y'all on that, but just like, or just people in general, you dealing with someone, or you are driving and you receive a flat on the road, or you trying to be faithful and you got some temptations. I don't know, whatever the case may be. Everybody's different, but you just gotta know resistance just makes you stronger. And we've said this in the past that the road doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. So of course, and I like to always say I'm great at responsibilities. Even though I may have never taken on this responsibility a day in my life, just I know when it comes, it's going to be, I just want it to go as smooth as possible. It may be a little resistance, but just allow it to go as smooth as possible. Just keep an optimistic mindset with resistance, because it is going to come and you are going to be faced with it. And there's so many different examples of it, but just know that you are stronger. Yes. And it will make you stronger. Even if you fall and fail, it's still going to make you stronger.
Yeah, it's all really about growth. I mean, I said this so many times with going through all the jobs I've been through after college. They've all were a learning experience because there was a lot of resistance with the authority above me. But all in hindsight, they have all taught me to get me where I am right now. And where I am right now is teaching me where I need to get in the future. So that's just an example of how resistance makes you stronger. But I feel like there's kind of like two different resistance, like the one that you have to confront yourself and the one that comes at you from other people or outside forces. So yeah. But they both make you stronger, though. They do. But it's like you have to be strong enough on the one that you have to deal with yourself. You have to be strong enough to overcome that for yourself. And on the other way, you have to think positively. Like, okay, how am I going to learn from this? Does that make sense?
Can you elaborate a little more for the one for yourself?
For yourself. So, like, if you're in a relationship with a guy and you're comfortable there, but you know that you can't move on to the next step in your life with him. So you have to eventually leave, but you don't want to. Right? So that's something that you have to work on within yourself. Got it. Opposed from somebody else just being a stank with you at work or bringing you down at work or trying to stop you. So that's something you have to work on with yourself.
I agree with that. That's good. Self-resistance and outside self-resistance.
All right. Number 4 is ambition.
Better do your research. I don't know why.
Maybe you said you better do your research because I wanted to read the definition.
Oh, go ahead.
That's why, because we had to research the definition to make sure we're giving y'all some accurate information. So the definition of ambition is a strong desire to do or to achieve something, typically requiring determination and hard work. Desire and determination to achieve success. So.
And quote.
End quote.
Oh, it's end quote? Okay.
Oh, end quote.
I don't even know.
I really don't know.
Let us know in the comments. Is it and quote or end quote?
Alrighty. So, end quote, I don't even know. But, so, with ambition, I feel like when we break down the word like we just did, I feel like so the desire is your goal. And the actions that you need is like a multitude of actions is what's needed to achieve that goal. So I know like every one of us, we want to say we want to be healthy. We want to be better speakers. We want to be closer in our spirituality. We want to get closer to God. And so we have to evaluate our actions and just think like, what are we doing to take precaution to actually achieve that and make this a reality in my life? What actions are they, guys? So are you, if you say you want to be healthy, are you eating the right foods? And I know we stress this and address this often, but it's important because we often say we have these goals and these desires. Say your goal is your desire. And we often don't have the matching actions to, I know a funny time of the year where everybody and their mama have these goals and their desire is to change their life and become like the best you. And this is great, guys. By all means, don't stop doing this. But it's that time of New Year's when we have our New Year's resolution.
Right.
And everyone has this goal and this desire. And then we don't have the persistency or nor the action that keeps us on the path. By like January 7th,
Right.
1 week in the game, we all gave up on all our goals and our desires. And I feel like it's because at least give yourself 21 days to create and make a habit so it can be permanent in your actions and your habits. So definitely, I think we're giving up too fast on ourselves, and we're like letting our ambition fade away without putting forth the action.
Right. Exactly. And that's what it's about. You said, you hit the point, right? You said they're giving up too fast. So if you never give up, you never can really fail.
Right.
So, right? So
you have to be determined.
You have to be determined. And I think that a lot of times the reason why people are successful is because people are failing. But also that failure means that they're not really failing because they're not giving up. And I found out with myself, I always thought that ambition was just the desire part. And now that I see that it's desire and action, I still feel like I have that ambition, but I never thought it was enough. Because having ambition, okay, you have desire, right? Okay, so cool. You have desire, so now you're determined to get to where you want to be. Right. And then you add on that action. Okay, so I'm doing those things constantly, but not constantly. So, okay, so you have desire and you have action. So you're putting in that work, but a lot of times we start putting in that work, and we're good to go for about a week, but then we stop. And then you go back and, okay, it's like, oh, I gotta get back on it. So you keep going and you putting in that work. For some reason, you just stop. And I have felt that that's always been my downfall. Is I always, okay, I'm gonna put out a video here every week, twice a week. I'm good for a few months, and then something happens and I stop. And I think that a lot of people really, stunt their growth because they keep stopping. But it does come a point where I feel like I'm at right now. It's like, if I ever want to get out of where I am, if I ever want to finally like burst into the next level, I have to. I have no choice but to be consistent and really have my soul on fire and be consistent every single day, because that cycle, it gets annoying.
That is true.
And I like what you mentioned earlier. You said about simplifying.
Yes. So basically what I was saying earlier with the girls is that a lot of times we have this huge plan that we try to map out. I know with Inspire Fire starting off, we had so many meetings and so many long mapped out plans when we really could have just simplified things. So if you want to be a famous YouTuber, which that's what I want to be, okay, I simplify it like this. Okay, I'm going to film, edit, and then I'm going to upload on this day. If we want to start a boot camp, which we did, okay, we're going to do it every Saturday. If we're going to start a podcast, okay, all we have to do is what? Pull out our phone, press record, meet every Tuesday, edit the next week. So a lot of times we make these huge blown out plans and it's kind of overwhelming, where we could just simplify it and be like, okay, boom, boom, I can do this, I can do that, and I set for this day. And that's an easy way to keep consistency, right? Okay, so podcasting has been pretty easy for us because we're like, okay, every Tuesday we're gonna meet up and we're gonna film this podcast, and boom, it happens, and now we have this bomb a podcast that you're listening to. But if we just simplify everything like that, if you want to be healthy, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym every day at this time. Now I'm gonna eat the right things, eat healthy, and drink water. Those are 3 simple things that you could do, and mapping out this huge crazy plan can kind of like make you so overwhelmed, like, I can't do this anymore. So simplifying your goals is something that can make you be more consistent.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I like that. And to add on to that, the action piece of it.
Yes.
Our actions are a product of our choices.
Right.
So just the last thing that I want to kind of leave y'all with is just to choose to spend your days wisely and passionately. And if you're not working on something important, then you're wasting time.
Yes. Time is valuable.
Right. And I think
so valuable.
I totally agree with what you guys just said, especially about the simplifying and using your time wisely. But I think for so long, so many people have built a habit of wasting time, or built a habit of just not taking forth and actually tackling their habits. So you have to be willing to, like Tiffany was saying earlier, simplifying it to the very bare minimum. So it just need to be A plus B. I don't know how A plus B equals C, but it just makes sense to say that.
Right.
But A plus B and make it equal C in a logical scheme of things, just so you don't get overwhelmed. Because, and then another thing I want to say, well, we're jumping back to that, just know that you can't be too hard on yourself in the beginning stage. And that leads me to my next topic, which is you everything I think is happening at divine timing. And I say that because, like you were saying, Tiffany, earlier, you well, even with Inspired Fire, how we used to have these divine meetings, and we would have all this stuff on our to-do list, which we did, y'all. It was like this massive list and all the things we needed to do, and it was kind of overwhelming. And then even with your videos, how you were saying you need to be releasing one every week. But I feel like we have to go through the crawling stages in order to learn how to walk. So in everybody's walk, you're gonna go through some mess ups, you're gonna bump your head, you're gonna face a lot of adversity. But I feel like when you face that, that's helping you gain the strength you need, gain the insights you need to know how to navigate through it. So it helps you, strengthens your knowledge, so you can actually know how to do it, you can know what to do. Because like it's just like going to the gym. You don't get a six-pack by going to the gym once. You don't get nice toned body by going to the gym once. You may have to go there, you mess up a couple of times until you understand which routine works best for your body, which routine works best. Because if you're trying to find yourself doing someone else's regimen, they might want buff shoulders and buff this, and you want a lean body. So until you understand, it's kind of a trial and error thing. And I think that's the divine order that God or the universe is like placing along your path so you can get to where you want. Because a lot of times we get so antsy and we want things to happen overnight, and it does seem like an easy process, but it's all about that time. And the more time you put into it, the more the universe can meet you halfway and bless you with that abundance you want in your life. And so I think everything is happening for divine time. And I think since now, when you recognize that you have had enough mishaps and mess ups, that only makes your time, you're that much sooner to coming to that achievement, or to get into where you want to be on your path of to reaching your desire.
Right. That's totally true. I feel it. Like, we've been telling each other, we all been having this constant, okay, I feel like it's about to happen, or feel like this breakthrough is about to happen. And it's just like, it's like a breakthrough. It's like, I feel fed up, and it is a timing thing, and it's a faith thing. You have to trust God's timing for everything, whether it's being your own boss, or being in a relationship, or anything. Those are just the first two that come to my mind, because that's what's always on my mind. But yeah, it's that faith that God's gonna provide you with the resources you need in the correct timing for things. Because a lot of times people could even meet the right person at the wrong time, or people could have their big break at the wrong time where they couldn't handle it. But God could be just really shaping you and giving you those resistance so you could learn, and be prepared for your time. So
exactly.
So be okay with learning, even though it might hurt. But like that painting that we were talking about at the beginning, enjoy this journey, enjoy each swipe that God has, because at least you're being swiped up. That means you're living, right?
Right.
So,
and I think we all had to endure that. We didn't just wake up yesterday and know how to eat healthy, and what was GMOs, and what was hydrogenated oils, and what was saturated fats, trans fats, refined sugars. We didn't know that just off rip. It came over time, eating the wrong things a couple of times, then going to this YouTube or this blog and figuring out we're not supposed to eat this, y'all. Did y'all know that? And then, so I think it's all about timing. It's all about timing, and just knowing you on the divine path.
Right. But we had to figure that out. But I got to go back to consistency, because I know that's something that has stopped me and I've seen people like surpass me because they've been consistent in what they do. So I want y'all to learn from my lesson and be. If you really want something, I need y'all to be 100% committed and consistent. Like no matter what, stay on your grind every week. Come up with a routine and go for it. Because like she said, you can't work out a muscle here and there and expect for your arm to be huge and strong. You can't oil pull for 2 days out of a week or one time this month and expect that your teeth to be remineralized. So y'all learn from my lesson and y'all grind and be consistent and persistent.
Exactly.
Because that's been a thing of mine too.
Like, right. That may just need to be your affirmation for the year. 365. Right. I am consistent and persistent.
Because a lot of times people are scared to even connect with other people or ask for help, but the truth is we really need each other. And your network, I think Kobe says this all the time, is your net worth. So, and that's the God honest truth.
That is true.
And what's wrong with being or surrounded by more like-minded people?
Nothing at all. Going into our next key point, which is
sacrifice.
Damn, Zeddy. I gotta sacrifice.
You gotta sacrifice.
We're just talking about time. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your time. You're not gonna be able to spend all your time with certain people or just relaxing and doing sleeping. You know, you have to sacrifice time, money, sleep,
all that.
Something.
And I like how you said time, money, sleep. You have to sacrifice this. And I always like to look at things on an energy level. So, and I know, Kobe, I think you said this in the past, or maybe Tiffany, or probably both of y'all, but your pastor told you to look at your bank account and see what you're spending most of your money on, and that's kind of your God. That's what you're worshiping. Yes. So, I mean, a lot of us, we have food gods. I mean, food. I used to look, when I looked at my bank account, how many times I spent going out to eat, like, so it's crazy. Like, all this food, and I don't even eat fast food, y'all. I like to eat expensive food.
Yes.
I mean, like, all this organic stuff, all these organic
places. Expensive taste buds.
Right. Healthy ass, expensive ass taste buds.
Right. So it's just like, okay, Jasmine, slow down. Sacrifice this for the better, for the ultimate greater good of your life. So and this is energy. Your currency, in other countries, they call it currency. They don't call it money, because currency translated is, well, not translated, but if you look at the definition, is energy. So where are you spending your energy? You need to sacrifice your time. That's energy that you're spending doing. What are you doing with your time? Are you watching TV? Watching the Ratchets? On social media all day long, because I know it can get addicting. Facebook, they have everything on Facebook. You could watch a whole presidential debate on there now.
Definitely did that.
I mean, but it's just like, so it's all these different tools and avenues to take your time.
All right.
So many distractions.
So
there is.
How do you sacrifice your time?
A lot of times you just have to sacrifice. I mean, I feel like in any goal you need to take a sacrifice, and it is usually time. If you want to make an A on a test, God knows how many dang like overnights that I had 2 hours of sleep. That's why I'm so used to it now. Like 2 hours of sleep, not sleeping, going without sleep because I need to study for a test, or I need to make sure I upload this video on time when I was in broadcast journalism. Like, those are the sacrifices you just have to make. And to get where you want to go, you have to make those sacrifices. But I kind of only want to look at it as a sacrifice. It's
right, me either. I was thinking that same thing.
Right. You just doing what you got to do. Like, your mama's going to provide for you. She's going to make sure that you got food on the table. She'll starve herself before she lets you starve, right? So this is like, she's not like, I'm just sacrificing for my baby. She's like, I'm going to do what I got to do to make sure they're okay. And that's what we got to do for the people we love, which is ourselves, to get to our goals, right?
So I think we should change our vocabulary. This is not a sacrifice. We just doing what we got to do.
Doing what I got to do. This ain't nothing.
It's just doing
what we got to do. But I think sacrifice is such... even though we just said we changed it, but I do think sacrifice is a beautiful thing, because I feel like when you sacrifice something, it means something greater is coming.
And you know that it's worth it. You're saying, I'm gonna, not utilize whatever it is that I'm used to doing for this greater purpose, this greater good.
It actually, that makes me just think of, is faith. Okay, I know I have faith enough that if I sacrifice this, something I love so much, that I will still receive something better.
That's true. Yeah.
So I don't know if y'all seen that meme on Instagram where God is holding like
the teddy bear.
It's like the small teddy bear. And he has this huge, extravagant teddy bear behind his back, and like she don't want to let it go, but let it go, girl, because you have a huge teddy bear waiting for you.
All right.
So sacrifice is actually a beautiful thing.
It is.
If you think about it. What's next?
Number 6 is blame. We're gonna talk about blame.
Yes. I just blamed Kobe today because she had the audacity to introduce me to these delicious tortilla chips from Torchy's Tacos with queso with, get this, avocado in it. And she just knew I was going to go back there.
I didn't drive your car back to the Torchy's Tacos.
Right. But you put it in my life. You introduced me to it. And that's why all these calories are in my body currently. Thank you very much.
So, guys, we can definitely see blame being displayed here. So, when you are on your grind, there's going to be a lot of temptations, even from your best friends. You're going to have temptations thrown into your path. Not out of spite. They're just going to happen to be there. So, when you are faced with these temptations, because, guys, it's inevitable. Everybody is bound to be faced with temptation. Mm-hmm. It's just out there lurking. And you have to be strong enough to take full responsibility and not place the blame on the temptation.
Right. Yes. And it's great because I was really straight ass thinking like, dang, Kobe, like, oh, you really want to introduce me to these dang tortilla chips?
Just like I blame you. Like, but not giving me the opportunity to taste them good ass cupcakes.
Oh my God. Yeah, Tiffany wrong for that. She is so wrong for that. It's this
now
place.
They're not in season, y'all.
It's this
place.
I
was trying to save them the calories.
If you're in Houston, if you are in Houston, is the place called Toot Sweet or Tout Sweet?
I think it's Toot. I don't know.
I think it's Toot Sweet. Well, anyways, they have only in the summer. It's seasonal now. It was a cupcake. We were all there, the three of us, and Tiffany got this delicious ass cupcake. Like that, literally to this day, is the best cupcake I've ever eaten in my entire life.
I need to try it.
See, and that's where the blame comes in, though, right? Because we try to blame each other. Like, you have your own mind. I have my own mind. So, good well, you didn't have to listen to me. You're going to go ahead and get that delicious A cupcake. And I didn't have to reminisce all the way back to the day that I tried those delicious tortilla chips. I could have made the decision to just go ahead and get something healthier.
Exactly.
But when you actually do see, like, I do that a lot. Like, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I just be blaming people out of nowhere, like, from far, far away. Like, oh, Dwight, my stepdad, must have lost the remote because this, and that. But but I know good and well, or my computer, just anything. I'll be blaming everything on anybody just to take the blame off of myself. But that's the thing about actually taking full responsibility for the things you do and putting the blame on yourself is that you get to take on the action and be like, okay, I'm not going to do this again, or being more self-aware, like, okay, I did this, so how can I not do this again? Or you'll be more aware of like, okay, I need to do this instead of that. So if you're putting the blame on someone else, it's easy for you to keep blaming them, right?
You're missing the whole point.
You're missing
not even receiving or learning whatever you're supposed to be learning from that situation.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what I do. I put all the blame on me. Like my roommate always telling me, like, even if I'm dating someone and things don't it doesn't work out the way I think it should, I start blaming myself. I'm always like, how did I may not be developed right in my life, so I might be attracting this type of energy. And my roommate, like, maybe they were just a messed up person. Like, have you ever thought of that? And I was like, no, it's my fault. She's like, have you ever just thought that maybe he could have been a jerk? And I'm like, no, it's all my fault. Right. It's because I wasn't doing this. Maybe I wasn't in the right walk in my life, and that's why I attracted this jerk into my life. So if he's a jerk, it's a reflection of myself, so I'm a jerk. So I really just be blaming myself, and I'm always trying to blame myself so I can find the solution, so I can automatically cut it, nip it in the bud, and change the whole direction of the flow of things.
So you're bettering yourself, basically.
Yes.
When you put the blame on yourself, you get to better yourself.
And that kind of goes with the next thing.
The next one, yeah.
If you are blaming yourself or others, you have to
forgive. Yeah.
You have to forgive.
Forgiveness.
And that kind of goes with everything we were talking about. Forgive yourself for not being shameless. Forgive yourself for always worrying. Forgive yourself for not taking on resistance the way you should. Just, it's an ample amount of things that we can forgive ourselves for.
So we're talking about the grind. And a lot of times it's opportunities that maybe we have passed, and maybe we were dating somebody and we got so consumed in that relationship that we weren't focusing on the business, as much as we should have. So you kind of, blame yourself for that thing. So you have to forgive yourself for whatever opportunities may have passed or things that didn't go out the way that you thought they should have.
Ooh, that's deep.
That's really deep.
I love that. That's what you said, because I was trying to figure out, like,
how does this tie
in? Because I'm like, what do I need to forgive myself for at this point in time?
Definitely. And then even just people along the process of your grind. People can rub you the wrong way or not show up to a meeting or something and just not completely be on the same page, and you find yourself showing negative emotion to them, anger, envy, any types of like negative emotion, and you have to forgive them, because as long as you're honing in this energy on them, it's stunning your growth from you furthering yourself along your grind.
I think we have to forgive ourselves for like the feelings that we have sometimes. I don't know. I'm just speaking from.
No, you're totally right. You're totally right.
But sometimes we feel different, because like you struck up a chord when you said feeling some type of way about how someone didn't show up to a meeting or someone reacted to you telling them your dreams. Like, you have to forgive yourself for like feeling down or bad. Sometimes, I don't want to say it's okay to feel bad, but sometimes it's okay to like let out that cry or that time to just be in seclusion or be alone or, meditate. So when you're forgiving yourself, you kind of get to be released from whatever is like cloaking you.
Exactly.
So that's a reason to forgive yourself. Be free to get on that grind.
Right, because if you have that trapped emotion, it's going to block you.
That burden, you holding these burdens.
Exactly.
It's only going to drag you down and slow you down.
And you can actually, like, feel the burden, like, that tightness in your chest, that clogged in your throat, like.
It's real.
Yeah.
So real. Alrighty.
So forgive yourself. Whatever you've done, it's a new day.
Okay? Right.
Change it. And keep grinding for your goals. Because, like, if you keep reflecting on that one thing, there's no way you could, right? You're putting your energy towards it, so there's no way you could move forward. Forgive yourself. Exactly. Be free.
That's so okay. True. That's good. That's real great.
Number 9, we have develop your skills.
Yeah. Jasmine touched on this earlier today, but basically, we were talking earlier, listening to podcasts, and we were saying how we need to work on how we need to be more articulate or how to get our point across better. And I was thinking, it was funny that she brought it up, because I was thinking the same thing. Like, I need to take some sort of class to help me be able to speak better in front of people, because that's what we do. We teach people and we talk a lot about this kind of stuff. And I want to be able to convey my message very clearly. And, just develop that skill, because that's ultimately what I want to be, a talk show host, a motivational speaker, and a great one. So if you want to do something, you need to be able to actually hone in on those skills and take the precautions you need to do so. So if you want to be if you want to be a basketball player, And you might want to join an AAU team or
Right.
have a coach. Whatever you want to do.
Exactly. And that kind of struck up a chord. Is this story of a guy, I can't recall his name. I think it was like Curtis Jones. He actually went to Howard University like long a time ago. I was reading it in it's a book called The 50 Laws of Power, but they he was very, very young and he had a speech impediment, a very, very bad one. It was so bad to the point where I think he couldn't even complete elementary school. They had to send him away so he can go to a school for special needs that catered to helping people overcome their speech impediments. So he went to that school and he found it working a little, but he still said he wasn't getting the confidence or the progression that he would like. And his goal, funny thing is, his goal was to be a lawyer, but they laughed at him thinking like, how could you possibly be a lawyer when you can't even speak in complete sentences to hold a casual conversation? So he locked himself off into his I want to say basement for like 2 years almost, where he would have people, he would send for people to bring him food like groceries and stuff, but he stayed down there and he put himself through intense speech practices, just exercises, drills, and like he went from a man that couldn't even hold a conversation on a first grade level to then later on he said he was doing strenuous like exercises where he would put like a mouthful of pebbles in his mouth and he would make himself speak. Like he was just doing some intense stuff. And like after so long, so many years, he ended up attending Howard University, graduating. Then he got his master's at a Ivy League university. At this time, it was it was not possible for African American people to do that. And he overcame all of these things and the adversities just by developing his skills that he thought that he could never. And that's grind. That's dedication to the grind, y'all.
That is grind. I like it. That's like how people used to do this when they were like singing. So they could perform well, like Usher and Chris Brown and Beyonce, run on treadmill and sing so they could sound good when they're tired and dancing on stage or whatever.
Right.
So it does. The greats do it. You have to take that time to really hone in on that skill you want to be an expert at. And you really got to take out that sacrifice, that time to lock yourself where you don't have to lock yourself in the basement, but to really practice on what you want to enhance in your life. You have to do it.
You have to. And it's very doable. You have to know that it is doable.
Right. Yeah, honestly, like that was a testimony because that's something he had an impairment and he worked on it. Like some people think that they just need to hone in on their strengths, which is a great thing, because but if there's something you actually want to be better at, you have to take I don't know if precautions is the right word, but you need to take the precautions to do so and get that skill on fleek.
Right.
So I love that. I need to do more of that. I'm about to be talking with pebbles in my mouth.
Me too.
Or some water, and I'll be like talking very clearly, like.
But all right. And I skipped one.
Oh.
We had spirituality.
Yes. My most favorite one of them all.
Yes. You want to take it, or should I go, or should you go?
Okay. Spirituality in the grind. Y'all. Just as of, I want to say, it's been longer than this, but really heavily in my life, in my journey, in my walk, these past 2 months, I've just become so spiritually in tune like no other. I think it's been through the multitude of books I've been reading lately. But I just now, well, not just now, but I really, really come to discover this personal connection with our Creator. And it's so beautiful because we really cannot do anything if we don't have a spiritual practice, spiritual alignment with God. Because it's like every vibration that you give off, whether it's thankfulness, whether it's so many different vibrations. If it's gratitude, which is thankfulness, but it's just like I wake up every day and I'm so thankful, and then I ask for so much strength. And when I literally like, if every time something happens, just celebrating that blessing, I really feel like me and homie, lover, creator is have this like divine relationship. Like I literally sense myself, feel myself being moved and being touched, and it's just so divine. It's, I don't even know how to explain it or put it into words, but I feel like you have to take out time and have that spiritual connection every single day. Like, what book was I reading that made me think of this? Like, and I literally like to make sure I actually started to do this and create a spiritual daily practice, because it would be like times I would be, I'm gonna thank God. I mean, I thank him all the time, or her all the time, or it all the time. But I just think that I was selling myself short by thinking that I had it all together on my own, instead of just calling from God's energy and just asking it to move in my life, like in the great force of abundance that I know God have. Like, God has so much abundance, and we be selling ourselves short by not asking for all the abundance that we deserve. And so I just find myself not shortchanging myself no more. I want it all because God's giving it to me, so I'm just gonna openly accept it.
Right, and He wants you to.
Exactly. So I just find myself every day, every morning, meditating for at least, and it may sound minute, but when I first started, I would only do it for 5 minutes. And I would just spend at least 5 minutes before I went to sleep. And then it's like a muscle as well. You have to build yourself up to be able to spend these long, extensive hours, because I know sometimes we compare ourselves to other and we feel like we have to spend 30 hours just in a praise and worship or meditative position. Because if I compare myself to other spiritual gurus, I feel like when now I don't do this anymore. Now I just feel like God knows my heart, and I just feel so connected. And the more I'm connected, the more I find my grind easier. The more I find these opportunities falling into my lap easier. The more I find these connections and network opportunities, the money, the financial support, the easier will for me to say no to unhealthy habits and to accept on healthier habits. So I definitely think spirituality is important when being on your grind. Thank you. That's all I got to say.
And end quote, don't stop. No, I totally agree. That's why I text y'all like we should do a podcast about tapping into the source, which is God. Because I had just talked to our best friend Deborah, and she was just telling me about how she was preparing for that pageant, and man, she was just going through a lot. She was preparing for that pageant. She's doing her master's in criminal justice and working. She was doing all these things, and she was telling me her day-to-day schedule, and she was like, honestly, and she didn't have any money at the time, like dirt broke, and she didn't even tell nobody. And she was just like, she was thinking back, and she was like, how did I even survive? Like, how am I even doing all this? Because, she grinds, and when she does something, she goes hard.
She definitely does.
Right, and it just didn't even seem like there was enough hours in the day for her to be doing all the things that she was doing.
Right.
And she was honestly like, and then when she was telling me all she was doing, I was like, how did you do that? This actually sounds
right. When she told me her
crazy.
schedule, that sounded mad. Like
mad, crazy, right? Crazy. But it all makes sense though. She was like, the source just took over. God just took over. I tapped into the source, and it's just like when you do that. And I've seen this like within myself. Have you ever felt like you just have so many things to do, you just don't know how you're gonna do it, but you do it?
Yes.
You do it. Everything is provided for you, and it's when you're tapped into God and to His beautiful and His greatness and having that faith. And you literally, when we say do all things through Christ that strengthens us, He really does give us the strength to do anything we want. So it's like we don't have to think about how am I going to get this done. Just do, and it's going to get done. It's like you having that faith is more than just halfway, and He'll meet you there. It's like 99%, and then you work. You just do, right? And that is, for me, is tapping into the source. It's because, like you said, He has all the abundance. So, like, act big, and you'll do big, and it's just going to be, I don't want to say easy, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he puts us through certain situations to make us say, okay, like to want him and to need him more.
You're right. Yeah.
So you have to understand that and to say, okay, you know what? You got it. I'm not in control of this no more. You got it. I'm just gonna let you have your way, your will.
Kobe killing me because y'all both said the same thing, but that's so true. I don't know if it was like a year or two ago. I don't remember when it happened, but I was really trying to just depend on myself, and it just doesn't work. You can't. It's like it's impossible. I can't depend on just me. We're supposed to depend on each other and God. Just grasp into that source. There's just so much abundance around us that
it really is.
I mean, it's just so much, and you just take as much as you want. Don't be asking for like the bare minimum. Like, great things are to come, definitely.
Yes. So take the time to know your Creator,
right,
and know the things that He has for you, and
yeah,
you're gonna win. We winners.
You
because we connected to who we connected with. Yeah. We automatically.
And if you just like look into people's lives and you see when they get more connected with their Creator, you just start to see them flourish automatically. That's actually what drawn me. Kobe, actually, you've drawn me into being closer to God because in Deborah and like in my mother, like when I see y'all flourishing, and I'm like, I was telling Deborah this, I was like, what is this? Like, how can I get me some? All right. And so, I mean, you could just see it at the end of the day. So, like, I like what Jasmine was saying. Like, she said that she started to meditate more and more and connecting with the source. And that is you really have to take time to build that relationship up.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, I mean, you have to put in that work and that faith.
Only you. Your grandma prayers can't do it for you for too long. Mama prayers can only go so
working,
far.
Though. Mama prayers
they do. But when you gonna
protect you,
right?
Yeah, they really do.
Mama be like, that's some magic because it's that faith behind Mama's prayer, I think. But anyways, but hey. Wait, did that even talk about the grind? Oh, yeah, that does talk. Because when you talk from the source, you can really do anything. You are the grind.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we already covered the last one. We've been talking about faith all throughout it. So I think that concludes.
I think that's 9.
That's 9.
Oh, it's only 9?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a weird.
I mean, we can touch on the last one is connected to the spirituality, but it's faith and believing.
Right.
Faith and believing, having that faith.
Yeah.
In God and in yourself.
Yeah.
And to know that you can do whatever you put your mind to, and that you are good enough.
You are. You gotta know that.
Like, it may be other people that have a YouTube channel, doing the same turban rap, but you may have that special, something that somebody may want to see.
That's true.
There's definitely a lot of turban raps on YouTube.
But for some reason, somebody clicked on yours versus
That's so true.
Somebody else.
That's true.
So you can't worry about.
You can't. Because if I looked at, there's like a gazillion people on YouTube. There's a gazillion basketball players. There's a gazillion podcasts. But y'all listen to this one.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Good God.
Good God. Yes. You're so right. We can't worry about that. You have to have faith in ourselves. My favorite quote, I always say it, is doubt your doubts before you doubt yourself.
Yes, that's so true.
Hey, do you have any more gems? I feel like we could go on forever. That's the grind.
That is the grind in a nutshell. So we're going to go through real quick. Grab your pen, grab a pad, your journal, whatever you use to write your life-changing tools down. And Kobe is going to run through the list really quickly for you all of how to be on your grind.
So, yes, number 1, shameless. Don't worry about what everybody else thinking and what they gonna say. Just do you, boo. To you.
Stay true.
I like that.
Stay true to
Do
who you
boo.
are.
Yes. Number 2, don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Ain't gotta worry about nothing.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about a thing. Cause
Every little thing
It's gonna be alright.
Yes, it's gonna be all right.
That was
in the end, so
perfect.
don't worry.
That was perfect, Jazz.
That's my husband.
Number 3, resistance. Stop
Yes.
resisting.
Yes.
It's just like a river. Just flow with it.
Right.
Stop fighting the current.
Right.
And stop
You
trying
can
to go
never
in the
win.
opposite way and face and go back. Just go forward. Move forward.
Right.
Dang, that's
Flow
crazy that
with
you
it.
say that. Because when you fight the current, you ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere.
At all.
You just standing stagnant. Dang. Gems.
Right.
Yes.
Keep going.
Number 4, ambition.
Desire.
It speaks for itself.
And
Yeah,
action.
Desire and action.
Inconsistency.
Mhm.
That's tunnel vision for you.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, sacrifice.
Yes.
Be prepared to work them long hours, to put in the time, the money, the effort, the energy to get to where you want to be.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Number 6, blame. Don't blame nobody else for you not being where you want to be.
Right.
You can only
Right.
blame yourself.
Dang.
I had to snap on that.
I think you were speaking to me.
When you point the finger, it's 3 of them pointing right back at you. So don't play the blame game. Number 7, forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Be free. Free yourself.
Yeah, free yourself of
Lift the
forgiveness.
burdens off your shoulders.
It
These
is okay.
grudges. It's killing you.
All right. Just learn from it and move on.
Easier said than done.
Mhm.
Right.
But do it. Do
It
that.
is.
Number 8 is develop your skills. You got to work on you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just as simple as that. You got to work on you.
Right.
Right.
Number 9, we said spirituality. So tapping into the source
Right.
and being connected.
Yeah.
And you'll be
do what you have
invincible.
to do to get connected.
Right.
Start
Do what you have
practicing
to
those
do
things.
to get connected. I like that.
And number 10, faith. You got to believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You got to believe in yourself and believe in God.
Yep.
Yes. Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome. So, y'all know what time it is. It's affirmation time.
Affirmation time. I want to put some slow music, guys, so let's be sexy with it. I am filled with pure love and joy.
I am in tune with the source.
I am grateful for my mistakes because I learn from them so quickly.